What's up, y'all? Welcome back to my channel. So as you can tell by the title of the video, the thumbnail, and my costume, I'm dressed as Frozone, we are going to be talking about The Incredibles. One thing I can say about The Incredibles, this movie came out in 2004. So for the past 20 years, people have been loving the storylines, loving the characters, deep diving into the lore. I've seen so many videos concerning theories, concerning character analysis, concerning possible sequel storylines. I just want to say I can spend an entire day, an entire week, an entire month just binge watching all the incredible videos that a lot of us fans put out on YouTube because we enjoy The Incredibles and the lore is just so popular and so touching. It's not even a nostalgia thing. It's just good. Like The Incredibles is just straight up good. Right, now what I want to discuss, it stems from the bonus feature on the 2-disc DVD special from the very first Incredibles movie. See, this is why physical media matters. I'm talking about the NSA files. Two characters that don't get discussed as much, and that's Overseer and Psycwave. Overseer and Psycwave, they are telepaths. Their powers are strictly based on the mind. So I'm just trying to understand, how did Overseer and Psycwave allow Mirage to manipulate them to fight a giant, deadly robot, knowing damn well their powers do not work against non-organic beings? They control the minds. Robots do not have minds. Let's talk about it. But before we do that, theme song. Now, first off, let's just talk about the power of telepathy. When a character is a telepath, they have the power of the mind. They can read mind. They can control minds. They can project illusions. They can erase memories. They can stun people to be unconscious. They can communicate between minds without verbally speaking.
We're too late.
Don't speak. Save your oxygen.
I don't think I'll ever get used to telepathy.
I suggest you try.
Traditionally, telepathic characters, that's usually their only power. And there are plenty of characters across the comic world where you see telepathic characters navigating their space by utilizing their telepathy only. You have Professor Charles Xavier from the X-Men. You have Mantis from Guardians of the Galaxy. You have Moondragon from Guardians of the Galaxy. You have Oracle, you have Lalandra. The both of them are part of the Shi'ar Empire, which is lore that falls under the X-Men. You have Simon from Young Justice. You have the Shadow King. You have the Stepford Cuckoos. You have Saturn Girl from the Legion of Superheroes. The list goes on. There are a lot of characters where they're only given one specific power, and that's telepathy only. In rare occasions, you do have characters that have telepathy, but they also have a different set of powers to help them fight a variety of enemies outside of just an organic mind. And in this situation, with Overseer and Psycwave, telepathy is their only main power. So I'm just trying to understand, how did they allow Mirage to get them to fight a robot? Their powers do not work against robots. Their powers do not work against non-organic beings. Now, it's another rare case where a telepath can put out enough psychic energy to penetrate a robot and destroy the system. But what you just saw in that clip regarding Saturn Girl, omitting that amount of energy can literally drain a telepath because their powers are solely based on organic minds. And I'm saying all this to say there's no legitimate reason why Overseer and Psycwave were fighting a deadly robot to begin with. And now, according to the Chronos files uncovered by Mr. Incredible, I'm assuming that each hero fought the Omnidroid as they appeared on screen. So if we're going by that logic, Universal Man was the very first hero to be killed off. Then it was Psycwave, then it was Overseer. We don't specifically know how Mirage approached Psycwave and how Mirage approached Overseer to get them to do this mission. Now, we saw in the first movie that Mirage was spying on Frozone because Frozone was the first initial target, but she decided to switch targets when she discovered that Bob Parr was Mr. Incredible. So we saw Mirage. She went to his job just to drop off the package. Then when Mr. Incredible got home, he opened the iPad and scanned the whole entire room, and she downloaded him on all the information for this specific mission. And then in the next scene, you can see that Mr. Incredible, he is on a plane with Mirage as she is giving him all the details to fight the Omnidroid. So if Psycwave and if Overseer went through a similar situation where they are having a face-to-face physical sit-down encounter with Mirage, that should have been the opportunity for either Psycwave or Overseer to invade Mirage's mind and discover what Syndrome was doing. So again, according to the Chronos files, Universal Man was the very first hero to encounter the Omnidroid and he died. Psycwave was the second hero to encounter the Omnidroid. So if Mirage approached Psycwave the exact same way that she approached Mr. Incredible, Psycwave should have utilized her telepathic powers to uncover the truth about Universal Man and uncover the truth about Syndrome's overall plot. And she should have took over Mirage's mind as an end to take down Syndrome. Simple said, done. So I'm just trying to understand how and why Psycwave didn't utilize her powers against Mirage, but foolishly utilized her powers against the Omnidroid, knowing damn well that telepaths cannot fight robots. Her powers meant nothing towards the Omnidroid, which I'm pretty sure that she was killed in a matter of 30 seconds. And now regarding telepathic characters, there's this unsaid rule that telepaths are not allowed to enter people's minds without their permissions, because reading people's private thoughts is an invasion of privacy. Now, and this might be a hot take, a controversial take. I do not care. I love when telepaths enter people's minds without their permission and invade their privacy, because let's just cut all the dramatics and let me find the information that I needed to find in order to save the day, or in order to solve a mystery, or in order to do whatever the objective is. Like, let's not waste no time when I can just pull the information out of your head.
Just to be sure, is that all you want us to look into?
You've already read my thoughts, have you?
Charles, you of all people should know some thoughts are so loud they demand to be heard.
Longing. Rusted. Furnace. Someone implanted a code in your brain, didn't they? Fascinating.
I'm no one's puppet, Frost. Let go of my strings, unless you want to get strangled by them.
Okay, go ahead and lay your...
Please, I read your mind on the way in.
How did you...
She gave it to me. I went to see Kavita. She agreed I should verify her results and gave me a sample.
Or I'll go through you to do it.
Emma, she had no right to read my...
She said she couldn't help it.
You know, but based on Psychwave's file, I don't think she would have ran into that problem.
I had a crush on the quarterback of the football team. I psych-waved him into asking me to the homecoming dance and breaking up with Shelley. Never really used it to harm people, except for all those girls I made the guys break up with because I wanted to date them. Kind of freaky, actually.
So as you heard for the audio yourself, she has no problem invading people's minds without their permission. And she's been doing this since high school. Knowing what we know about her, she could have easily invaded the thoughts of Mirage, uncovered the truth, took over Mirage, and take down Syndrome without even facing that deadly Omnidroid. It's just not clicking to me how she would allow herself to be put in a scenario where she is fighting a deadly robot, knowing that her powers mean nothing towards that robot. Psycwave, what was you thinking? What was you thinking about? It doesn't make any sense. And then let's talk about Overseer. According to his audio files, he said out of his own mouth that he likes to prevent conflict before it happens.
Yes, I can mix it up. Oh, I can fight with the rest of them. I can knock 3 people through walls if I have to. But why do that when through the process of the mind, you can avert conflict before it happens?
Sir, the conflict here is you was getting ready to die fighting a robot. Why didn't you take the initiative to invade Mirage's mind? That would have prevented the conflict from happening, and that also would have prevented all the heroes who were killed by the Omnidroid before Mr. Incredible. You invaded Mirage's mind. That could have saved all their lives. Another thing that I found interesting in Overseer's audio files is he is a germaphobe. He doesn't like physical fights because he does not like being involved with germs.
Quite frankly, there are a lot of things that come along with being a superhero, the whacking, the battering, that I find quite unpleasant. And frankly, it's the germs. They're everywhere, and they're so small, and saliva and blood and bits of bone and tooth. There's a lot of supervillains. Frankly, they're not clean people. They don't take care of their hygiene. I mean, you punch a mouth and who knows what's on you after that. If cleanliness is next to godliness, then ungodliness is dirty.
With that specific fact, now I'm questioning, like, why did Overseer even say yes to Mirage's offer? If you don't like being in physical fights and you don't like being around a lot of germs, you didn't think fighting a robot was going to, I don't know, activate your pet peeve? That doesn't make a lot of sense, Overseer. Why did you say yes to Mirage? She had to tell him something completely different than the mission that she told Mr. Incredible. It had to be like, oh, you're saving a cat out of a tree, and then the Omnidroid appeared or something. And I do not understand. Based on the files of Overseer, he likes to prevent conflict before it happens, and he is a germaphobe. Those two facts run contrary to what Overseer actually did by saying yes to Mirage's offer to fight the Omnidroid. I don't get it. I do not understand. Now, one more thing I wanted to emphasize with Psycwave and Overseer being telepaths. I really want to know if they experience this power that Jean Grey experienced. So basically the power is, as a telepath, as soon as you enter the area of where somebody recently died, you can hear the psychic echoes of that dead person's body.
Psychic echoes. This much death can stain a place. So many last thoughts, unfulfilled dreams, cycling on repeat, stuck, rotting. So many futures lost. So many paths unfinished.
I wonder if Psycwave sensed Universal Man's psychic echo since he was dead before her. And then with Overseer, Psycwave and Universal Man were dead before him. I really wonder if Overseer was able to sense the psychic echoes of those two heroes. Because if he did, it possibly would have made a difference, because it would have drummed up his suspicion. Because I believe that Psycwave would not have mind entering Mirage's mind without her permission. But with Overseer, I don't think, based on his files, that he would have invaded Mirage's mind. But it's like, sir, please tell me you had to feel the psychic echoes of Universal Man and Psycwave. I don't know, y'all. I just feel like for you to be a telepath, for the both of you guys to be a telepath, you guys are embarrassing. Y'all did not utilize your power the way y'all should have. You guys do not have the power to go against a deadly robot. Your main target should have been Mirage. The both of y'all should have invaded her mind to find out the real bullshit that was going down. And then you take the fight to Syndrome. You know, you guys can control minds. You guys can stun minds. You guys can read memories. There's so many things a telepath can do, but fighting a robot is not one of them, especially considering the fact that telepathy is their only power. But anyway, that's all I have for this video. Give me your takes on Psycwave and Overseer, because everybody's always talking about Gamma Jack. Everybody's always talking about Gazer Beam, but nobody discusses the two telepaths. In my opinion, these two telepaths, they could have utilized their powers the right way, and they could have been the first two people to take down Syndrome. But they didn't do that. So RIP to them. And RIP to all the heroes that were unfortunately killed by Syndrome's Omnidroid. Syndrome, I hope you are actively rotting in hell, because you deserve it. Make sure you guys like, comment, and subscribe, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Peace.
Honey! What? Where's my super suit?